So, okay. So it's okay to come out your meditation, and then you can stretch your legs or arms or neck. Just make comfortable. And because, during the week, I'm sure all of you work, right? So it's quite stressful usually when you work. So the weekend is time to relax and get some, relax for the body. The main thing is relax for the mind, right? That's very, very important. So I think it's just a really nice setting here today, right? What do you think? It's a beautiful. I really love it. Exactly. Yeah. That's really good to recognize that we are here in really conducive place. And thank you once again. So we are doing the further spiritual practice of the Bodhisattva still, and at the website where you say we may finish like from May to September, right? So it's September already. Today is the first, right? Oh,
No,
fifth,
the
right.
30th.
Yeah, we have got 1 or 2 day more, but it doesn't matter whether it's not really that important to just read through the whole thing. Of course, and there are so many technicalities out there. There are so many different ways to uh, study this text. So many different levels. If you go to very, very, like technicality, it deals a lots an important point. And when you're the Buddha's teaching, where the Buddha's teaching actually teach so many different topics. It's deal with so many different topics, and this text actually deal a lot actually from the very, very kind of beginning, mean like a starting point to the very advanced level. And when we say advanced level, the main thing is to understand how the Buddha explained, the reality, how the reality of our mind, the reality of external, things. Where we say like there's an interesting kind of phrase that is she dembanyi lam tapshin in the book in Tibetan, meaning the base, there are two truths. Are you all familiar with what are there? Two truths. The base, two truth, two truth, and what are there? It said the base is a two truth. Two truth mean ultimate truth and conventional truth. So maybe, if you want to take a note, the base is two truth, ultimate truth, and then conventional truth. And then the path, method, and wisdom. Base, path, and then the fruition. Fruition, the result. Based on two truth, based on true truth, we practice the path, which method and wisdom. Method and wisdom. And then true truth, conventional truth, ultimate truth. And then the wisdom and compassion. Compassion is the key when you say the path, two path, which is method path, and then wisdom path. These two are like the two wings. In order to be able to fly into the space freely, you need the two wing, right? Without two wings, if you have one, you may fall, right? So because of that, the two the path two, each complement each other, method and wisdom. And then what are the methods and what is the wisdom? Method, the foundation or the root, the core practice of compassion. Oh, what is that?
Little surprise.
Business. Oh, okay. I'll hold it. Oh, yeah, there were business. Oh, this is gone. That's nice. Uh, we are getting some blessing from the sky. I'm just joking. Something fall down and it looks like beehives in the umbrella. There's the beehive make a small hives. So I think the bees are all gone. Maybe they left the honey somewhere. Hopefully. Right? So the hives fall down, and then Connell got it. That's good. And then we have actually bird have met the nest in different places. And then a few days ago, there was no, a few weeks ago, there were a few bird baby bird. What do you call it? Chicken, chicks. There are four of them are actually like looking like this, and chicken outside there. Okay, we are here with animals, the trees, and everybody's enjoying together, which is good. Okay, anyway, so now what we are talking here, the base is two truth, and then the path is method and wisdom. And what is method? What is wisdom? Method, the core practice, the compassion, and the an altruistic mind or the bodhicitta, and then practice of generosity, practice of patience, practice of enthusiasm, and of joyous effort, and practice of what else? Ethical discipline, right? Yeah, concentration, samadhi, concentration. And then the sixth one is called, we call this wisdom. So the wisdom, you could have like 4 or 5 different types of wisdoms are there. Wisdom like a sharp wisdom, like a quick wisdom, and then profound wisdom, and then another word people use intelligent too. But I think it's better stick with wisdom, because sometimes intelligent have different kind of understanding in certain, depending on the context. So sharp wisdom, deep wisdom, and quick wisdom, and then profound, meaning understand the reality very deeply, profoundly. That's four or five different, wisdom are indicated in the different, in the classical texts. And out of this, what are they? It's the main thing is practice wisdom of emptiness, and to understand how things exist, and how our mind projecting things. So things does not exist as it appear to ordinary mind, because we have so many kind of thoughts that we just create to so many kind of, we elaborate so many things, and because of that we caught into problem. So this has happened because of we don't really understand the emptiness. So the out of many wisdom emptiness is the main practice, core practice, to eradicate, to remove ignorance, which is root cause for all the trouble, all the miseries, everything. And each individually is responsible to how to minimize, ignorance. And this is just for our personal, reason, our own sake, our own benefit, not someone else. And of course, it will help for others, definitely. But the main benefit is, get for us. So wisdom, that knowing emptiness. Just think about emptiness, and then emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. This is very important here, because this topic is actually dealing in little letter and in the text. Wisdom, sorry, emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. It exists, but it doesn't exist how it appear to the ordinary mind. It's em- it's empty of objectivity. It's empty of inherent existence, or empty of truly existence. We believe it's true existence. When you say, and if someone asks you, okay, for example, we have this habituation from many long, many lifetime before, that I am somewhere here, in pinpointing that. That's why I am the most important person. Sometimes it's like, I am the center of universe. This is kind of feeling we have. Why? Because of strong, selfish, or self-cherishing mind. Self-cherishing mind, self-grasping ignorance. There are slightly different understanding with that, but because of the selfish reason, egoistic mind, we just engage into this wrong, place, and then continue to suffer. So the wisdom that realize how things really exist, it just exists interdependently. There's nothing that absolutely true from there. So it's, the mental projection. So wisdom and method I was talking, this, the text actually dealing with that. Wisdom and method. And then when you say method, compassion, I actually counted to six of the perfection. And ethical discipline have three, four different types of ethical disciplines are there. And then patient also. So we could do a lot of like elaboration study and variety to understanding, where we say like what is that? What I think white wisdom or something like that, where you could see things like from many different angles. When you see them from many different perspectives and many different angles, that way our mind could flow really freely in different places. And then that actually take us this in this, the narrow-minded have no room. Narrow-minded make us, you know we make ourselves like very small, but in reality we are, human being, we are big people. Meaning not really arrogant way, but very assertive person, where you can do a lot of benefit and benefiting for many others and yourself. So because of that, if you understand the interdependency, in many different angles and different perspectives, that really help to free this egoistic mind, or the free this narrow-minded. So because of that, you have the math path, two path, method and wisdom. And then the result a few another, a classical text use like a fruition, fruit fruition, fruit fruit result. By practicing this path, what kind of fruit will you get? So the fruit is, we will get fully awakened person, free from like what was that? Free from self-grasping ignorance, free from self-cherishing mind. Self-cherishing mind meaning you are the most important person than anyone else. This kind of thinking is, selfish, right? So we will be able to free, completely free from these two. It's known as a two demon. What the demon do? I mean, demon, what the demon role? What did they do? Yeah, demon. I don't mean like some kind of like beings who appear as a demon. No, in affliction. What demon does for us?
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to ask a slightly different question about a specific.
Oh, what do you think? You can just
I thought you were talking.
Mara. Yeah, Mara. Another word we could use. How are you? Okay. Oh, okay. Get some water. If you need water. Oh, you got. Okay. Mara. Yeah, another word we use Mara too. The Mara is not in out there. Mara is inside. Mara, demon, the very, very, very disturbing emotion, or another with the worst enemy within ourselves. The worst enemy. And how come that's the worst enemy to us? Are we really identifying that we are suffering? What do you think?
I'm done.
Okay, can you explain why okay, it's really good to do this kind of, and questioning ourselves, and then it give us to, try to find the answer. So you think something that we are suffering and something we are having, good time, right? I mean, of course, in a conventional level, we are having good life too, definitely. But, you know, there are different levels that, what do you call it? Inner peace for everyday life or something like that. There are different topics people use. And Jason, can you explain, some people identifying suffering and some don't, or some people identify that we are, suffering, or some don't. How can you explain? Yes.
Some are obviously, but some are aware of it. Others are just going through life moving forward. Everybody has their own take.
Mm. Sorry, you can't hear when you're talking. I thought of actually bring the mic, but somehow it didn't. Sorry. You can hear. Okay. Okay, Giselle, I was saying, I was asking about how many of us really think that we are suffering. We are in the cycle existence. We are actually, repeatedly and having some trouble suffering. How many people are really identifying we are really suffering or not? And Giselle says some do, some don't, right? Some are aware that we are suffering. And some say, well, life goes, what do you mean by suffering, right? And anyone else have anything, any answer, any kind of thought? Your own perspective, yes.
Any given day, there's suffer, there's elements of suffering. Things that identify, at first thing was like to identify, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm.
and well, work that, you know, carry this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It can be very simple.
Mm.
Oh, it's suffering, but in reality, it's not that terrible. But
Mm, 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 mm.
if your mind starts getting all distracted about, oh yeah, fire happened today and yesterday was this, and then all of a sudden you feel like, it's terrible.
Mhm.
I was gonna say your attention,
Right, right, right. All right. Okay, cool. Maybe just your own experience and your own understanding, and we don't know others. Maybe more or less we know what other think, or other people understand suffering in a way, but in our own way, when you look at this, the word samsara, are you aware of samsara? So how do you really define samsara? Can you define samsara?
It is cycle of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Come back in.
Ah, right. Keep coming back, right. Even whether you like or not, right? It keep coming back. All right. Anyway, so I was just talking about this, the base to truth, and then the path, wisdom and compassion, and then the fruition is, to get enlightenment, or to get, like a complete peace of mind. When you say complete peace, mean the complete peace only get when we really remove the affliction from root, from seed, completely eradicate. But then that's, you have to meditate a lot. And now, we have to start very simple way. Are you saying you have to deal with a very simple way rather than jumping up to this, like a very sophisticated jump up to that. Yeah, this is good to just know this. Okay, in Buddhist explanation, you have the base to truth, and then you have the method or the path, wisdom and compassion. And then by practicing these two paths, there's a way that you could, become that completely free from affliction, completely free from suffering, and fully awaken out of, complete knowledge. And, this is possible. It seems like impossible. Why not? Because our mind has a lot of potential. Mind can move very freely if you could transport the mind really, constructive way. So that's why the guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, where you teach really, really, really nice way, the complicated way, technicalities are there, but then also make a simple way too. So I think we've covered up to verse 17, right?
Yes.
So we finished 17. Now let's turn to 18, 19. 18, 19, because I think we will finish in this month, I mean, the coming month. And then we can think if we want to do another text or something else. I don't know. We have to decide later. But at least we want to complete. Okay, so verse number 18. So Hansla, would you like to unmute and read the verse number 18?
Yes, thank you.
I want to get a transmission from you. I'm just joking.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Yes. Um, um, so you lack what you need and are constantly disparaged, afflicted by dangerous sickness and spirits. Without discouragement, take on the misdeeds and pain of all living beings. This is the practice of bodhisattvas.
Everyone here, he was actually reading the different version of the text, but the meaning is the same.
19?
Yeah.
Yes. So you become famous and many bow to you, and you gain riches equal to Vajravayanas. See that worldly fortune is without essence, and be unconceited. This is the practice of bodhisattvas.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think we will read a few more, the 2, 3, 4 more verses. So verse number 20 and 21, Lisa, would you like to read? And then we will read some, in person. Unmute. Oh, yeah. Cool. We can't hear you. Oh, I think you have put the earphone in. While the animal grows. Oh, okay. Don't worry. Okay, Angelo,
Yes.
can you read verse number 20 and 21?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
While the enemy of your own anger is unsubdued, though you may conquer external foes, they will only increase. Therefore, with the militia of love and compassion, subdue your own mind. This is the practice of bodhisattvas.
Mhm.
Sensual pleasures are like salt water. The more you indulge, the more thirst increases. Abandon at once those things which breed clinging attachment. This is the practice of bodhisattvas.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want to read a few more. Scout, you want to read? Yeah. We'll finish up to 27 today. I mean, of course, we can do this explanation a lot, but it's quite self-explanatory too, in a way, right? It's the main thing is how to practice. That's the problem. Understand intellectually is more or less you're there. Okay. Yes. So maybe Karn, you can. How do you pronounce your Kano? Kano, 23?
When you track subjects, well, these you, like give up attachment.
Thank you. So join. Uh, thank you. So we will read one for each. Now you, Neil. Thank you. Again. Thank you. 27, is it?
Those who harm are like a precious treasure. Therefore, for all, cultivate patience, help hostility. This is the practice.
Thank you. Monica, 28.
See, even here, oh, there's two of conflict. Reasonable.
Thank you. Okay, so we have read up to 28 verses, and the meaning is it's tough, but some are quite easy to understand. Some are there's a lot of technicalities are there, but in overall, and if you look at the outline, it gives some picture of how do you really do the practice when you really like deal into the when we come to the reality. Okay. In the verse number 18, it says actually, if you engage in that, it's ruin your, what is that? Okay, if you do not really eradicate, if you do not really identify the, the weakness of your mind, for example, attachment, alert, and like anger, jealousy, if you do not really recognize them as like a distraction for you, this will destroy yourself, which means this will really ruin your own life, your own benefit. It's not no one else. So that's the main meaning. If you do not really look, the enemy is within. If you're looking if you're thinking that the enemy is somewhere outside, and then thinking, oh, she is so cruel to me, he is so bad to me, this is that. If you keep counting one by one another, then it will multiply. External enemies could multiply, and then sometime it will become like out of control. And maybe they will make it become like a gang, and somebody come to kill you. This could thing happen. So because of that, just try to recognize or identify the within your mind that really disturb you, and then let it try to see that disadvantage of being anger, being jealous, being attachment, and then see the virtue of being less jealous, less attached, less aggressive. And that way it really make your mind or your life more constructive rather than distraction. So external could multiply if you think like this, say, because nobody will agree what you say. I mean, that's really rare that people do how you think they're supposed to do, because everybody have their own right to think their own way. Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, every majority are in the misperception, under the sway of misperception, under the sway of, ignorance. So what to do? And then if there is nothing that you could do much for others, but at least you can do something for yourself, because we have what we have got, it's our body and mind, and we can work with our own way. And yeah, that's the most important thing, but sorry, difficult thing, but we can try. So if you do not really try to clean your mind by contemplating this way, and keep just let's go continuously, and that will destroy your future, your this present life, and you can just do something, sometime you could, when there's something is not right going on, and little annoying sort of things are coming, and maybe just watch how this feeling arising, and how that really stirring your mind. I think that's not right. I don't want to get annoyed with anybody. It's just that something has happened, what to do. They must have some causes, condition that happen, but it passed, so it won't come back again. Let it go. Think about the impermanent. Think about the reality of samsara, and then think like samsara is meaningless. There's not much meaning. There's not much essence. Very temporary things are there, and then it's very because this if something is not really right thing, not really benefiting things are happening. It's the unfortunate thing about the unfortunate, and think about the in the nature of affliction and the samsaras, right? And then the verse number 21, which is really true, right? You have to be really very honest. We have to be honest ourselves. Where you say essential pleasure are like a salt water. And the more partake of them, the more your craving will increase. Therefore, when something arises attachment, to abandon immediately is the practice of bodhisattvas. The minute that this kind of uneasy thing wants like a strong like a attachment that arise, and if you keep engaging in it, it's like where you say lenzi chu, meaning the salty water. When you're thirsty, what happens if you drink the salty water? You get more thirst, right? And the same thing. Then so the sodium pond maybe will become like a crazy. I mean, there are, we can see this kind of thing, right? And then see that this individual is being too kind of attached, and they do something else, more like a human way rather than like a dog or kid. So you know this is really really practical advice, really really practical advice, and it's something that we can do it. It's something that we can do it. It's doable, right? So, and then verse number 22, where you say, oh yeah, here you go. It goes much deeper here, right? All phenomena, all appearances are your own mind, and mind itself primarily transcends all mental fabrication. Knowing this and to remain free from apprehending the signs of subject and object is the practice of bodhisattva. Yeah, this actually go very deep understanding, and for that, and I was mentioning about earlier about the wisdom and method, and it's what was it? Let's see, 22. How to meditate space like emptiness during a meditative equipoise. Practically whether we are able to do it or not is a different question. Okay, this is a really technical thing here. For beginner, ordinary people or beginner people, when you are really trying to do the meditation, the contemplation, quite difficult, but we can try. We can really try. you know, think about the emptiness, meaning nothing exists as it appear. And then I think we did a few things in the past about how to really meditate on emptiness, and just scanning your body, the emptiness of self, and then the scanning of all the five elements and the aggregates. And when you say me and I am, we have some sort of urge or some sort of feeling from somewhere here. I am here, and just watch that. Where is that? Is it something that findable within your body or not? And check with this, okay, if me is something that truly exists somewhere within your body, and then you try to find where is it. Look in the hand, the head, the face, the nose, the mouth, the lung, all the intestine. Just check each and every solid part of your body, the liquid part of your body, the space, the energy or the heat, and checking all these different elements that are your part of your body. It's not you, but then you have this sense of like a thinking that I am somewhere here. How come this strong feeling? It's really difficult to identify precisely, but then if you keep repeatedly give some thought about this sense of self is just arising, but it's misperceiving. It's really kind of deceiving yourself, rather than helping you to understand how your mind really exists. So we can do this. Listen to some of the good teacher. I would suggest listening to His Holiness the Dalai Lama teaching, and then there are many other very good teachers who give the teaching on emptiness, how to meditate emptiness. There are like five different levels that you give to and how to really meditate. And our teacher, I think Hans Lano, he gives like that 5 points, and then the 5 points are how, let's see, there are first self, and then two question, and then it's like space like emptiness, and then illusion like emptiness. But space like emptiness meaning when we are looking each and every part of your body, somehow that if you keep repeatedly meditate it, they may have some kind of point that you see there's nothing that I can pinpoint within your mind body that's me. And when you see this kind of thing, it's just nothing really exists at all objectively. But then does it mean not existent? But that's not. And it not exist how it really appear, right? It just become kind of almost like a dismantle. Or the whole, the elements and the five aggregates are not really me, not the person. Me mean person. And you feel there's some sort of kind of space, right? Some sort of space are there. And there's a danger, nihilistic or extreme. You have to be really careful about how to do the meditation on emptiness. Some people think like emptiness mean nothing exists or nothingness, but that doesn't mean. Emptiness meaning empty of objective existence, empty of inherent existence, empty of truth, empty of truly existence, empty of inherent existence, empty of objective existence. Everything is imputed by the mind, meaning the subject. Everything exists subjectively, not objectively. It's our mind actually, like impute things. But then space like emptiness, illusion emptiness, here where you say the how to meditate on space like emptiness during in equipoise, meditative equipoise. When we try to do this, what was that exercise about scanning yourself within your body, whether any that you could pinpoint that something that you identified with within your body or not. It's not. That's not. It's not really there. And then how it exists dependently. Person is actually identified, meaning person is just a label depending on the five aggregate. And for example, Monica, someone actually label you as Monica, right? Based on your body and mind or your five aggregate, then label as a Monica. And you're not really Monica for like beginning from the beginning's time, or the endless. You won't be Monica forever. There's a changes take place, right? That's clear kind of indication that Monica is not really out there. It's just labeled by the subject, by the mind, subject, person, right? Okay, it's not easy. You all have to put effort to read and study more about what does really mean that. And how to overcome the belief that the desire and the hatred are real between meditative session. That's what did I say? Transform did I read the 2022, right? How to meditate on space like emptiness. Oh, sorry. I think the outline is the way it says. The no, 'cause, what was that? Verse number 18 actually we have done, and then 19 also. 19 is which way you says like wealth, meaning wealth. What does that really mean? Wealth. Let me see. 1 minute. Oh yeah, the worldly so-called pleasant, right? The conventional so-called pleasant, so-called wealthy. What is wealthy? What is wealth and what is not wealth? I'm sorry again. What is wealth and what is not wealth? Wealth have two types, right? wealth of mind and wealth of, like external. Number doesn't Roma Juindu, Nanti to people in where you say, though famous and prominent, someone to whom others bow, though you amass the richness like that of the god of wealth, to see that worldly splendor has no essence, and those to be without arrogance is the practice of bodhisattvas. The worldly wealth, meaning fame, money, power, and these are just temporary. It's a worldly thing. It doesn't really give you the long-lasting, satisfaction. This is what you mean. And the nyamba doesn't want you the namsi the sipipa jing whatever this worldly kind of wealth that people think that you know go for refuge, for example, it doesn't really give the long lasting solution. And seeing the samsaric splendor, samsaric wealth as essenceless, meaningless, is the practice of bodhisattvas. But that doesn't mean you ignore your health, ignore your food, ignore your house. Very practical. We have to be really practical. But what he's saying is, don't be attached so much with the this very minimal, very small meaning, thinking thing. I often say that, for that the worldly wealth, meaning people can make money, but money cannot make people, right? What do you think that? I often think of that. Like a wealth, people can make wealth. I mean, external wealth, I'm talking. The inner wealth is your compassion, your loving, caring, patient. This is the most main wealth, definitely. But then also you have the external, material, things, external, material. And we can make that, but they can't buy you. What I meant that. People can make money or the wealth, external wealth, but external wealth cannot make people, cannot buy people. But unfortunately, in many different parts of the world, this is what happened. The many part of the world is really happening. It's very unfortunate, but it's happening. But we can't really let it go as it is. Then it will be, then everybody know that there's trouble is coming. People dying, killing, these kind of things are happening. Very unfortunate. And then when you see this is wrong, then we have to take some initiative to stop, maybe not repeat again. We each one of us some responsibility to do because of we share humanity. We live on this earth. All of us was born on this earth. We all have the right to live happily. The happiness have a different levels, but at least a human being have the charm, the special in the special mind where we could really, make difference. Benefit for larger scale, larger group of people, and just let it go for very small one selfish reason, and then like a what do we call it, like ignoring like 1,000 people. That's not right. That's not really moral. It's not really like a human ethic. Animal like a dog and cat or leopard, they're animal. What to do? Because of some circumstances, because of some causes and condition, they were born as a human being. Sorry, animal. But we have got this precious human life. Remember that, that. The 8 leisure and then the 10 endowment at the beginning of I think the first and second verses at the beginning, where you say human being have the leisure and then the endowment, and human being have special qualities, and then use that qualities for the good, and that way we can become perfection one day. This is the step we need to do. And then how are we doing with the time? Okay, that's nice. I think we read up to 28, right? And each verse is actually identify like really important point, certain important point where you say, verse number 19, which is we just did it, and then 20 yeah, just if you eradicate the hatred or the jealous within yourself, that will destroy yourself, not others. The man is you have given the example of hatred, meaning jedang in Tibetan, which is hatred. Hatred and attachment are really, when you say hatred, when you have this hatred for others. Oh, yeah, go, don't worry. When you hate people, actually you push people away, right? Which is cruelty, which is lack of understanding, lack of loving kindness and compassion, and because of that, you really hate people. And attachment, but it's the attachment is actually deceiving really badly, because we think that we are doing good, but in reality, the biased mind, we have some sort of biased mind. No, I should take care of him or her, but not else, nothing else. And then why? Because of selfish reason, or because of the bias and attitude. Because like and dislike. Yes, we have the dislike and like, but are you honest? We have to ask the question for ourselves. Are we really doing honest thing or not? If you are not, then we are deceiving ourselves. Like this, take this hatred and jealousy example, and then just look inside, and try to make some differences, but very skillfully and very mindfully and very constructively. Very mean, no, can't expect 100% kind of perfect, but out of 100%, maybe 70%, 50% is good, or 70%, 60%. Even though like a 15 to 20% we are able to do, that's good too. It's really just a step. You have to move step by step. We can't really jump up to the top. We can move like step by step. That's really good. And we did the essential pleasure. Yes. 21 essential pleasure. Yeah, that's what you were talking. It's really deceiving us badly, really, really badly. And then 23, overcome the belief that object of attachment are truly existent. Okay. Yeah, we attach to certain object, and the root cause, which is ignorance, and then you make like exaggerating of the quality of that object. He or she or this and that is so good, and this and then the reason why I like it. Or maybe and what do you mean by that? It's my purpose. And what is your purpose? Maybe just temporary sort of enjoyment or eating or whatever, these things, and then exaggerating the quality of that, and then you have to try to vary each and every meaning to obtain that object, and then at the end, when you're looking at back, you are in the wrong place. Continue suffering. Like drinking salty water when you're really thirsty in really, really hot weather, thirsty, dying, but you're still drinking the salty water. Right? Same thing with people who drink alcohol, or who drink who smoke, or who, I don't know, whatever. There are so many things, example that you can think of that. And then overcome the object, overcome the belief that object of aversion are truly the same thing. Attachment and aversion. Attachment, pull your mind toward that object, and hatred actually push that object. This is what our mind is really react like that way. And then you have to be really mindful. I can't really do that. This will lead you in wrong direction. They will lead you to like a more suffering rather than happiness or satisfaction. And then verse number 24, where you say overcome the belief that object of aversion are truly the same thing, aversion. And then number 25, engaging in the training of the bodhicitta. Okay. Bodhicitta is the beautiful mind. We are so inspired, but then you have to start how to practice. And then I think we did, the bodhicitta, generating bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is mind that wish to become fully awakened, or the Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. That's the mind. It's called primary mind that wish to achieve 100% lighter person, to benefit for all beings. That's the bodhicitta. And then how can you really generate that? I think we did the 2 methods, remember? How to generate the bodhicitta? We have 2 methods, sevenfold cause and effect methods, and then equalizing and exchange yourself with other method. And the sevenfold cause and effect, where you have like 6 causes, and then the result is a 7. And then the equalizing and exchange stuff with others, where you have 9 steps. I think we didn't? Oh, okay. I see. We need to go there later then. I don't think today we have time. And bodhicitta, we'll go that, later in the next class. Sevenfold, right now, maybe just if you don't have the note, maybe write down, generating bodhicitta have 2 methods. 2 methods in generating bodhicitta, and say sevenfold cause and effect. And then, equalizing and exchange self with others. Equalizing and exchange self with others. And then sevenfold cause and effect, 6 causes, and then 7 is the result, which is bodhicitta. And then equalizing and exchange self with others of 9 step, and we will go one by one next time. How about that? Sounds good? So the bodhicitta, how do you really generate this? There's a step that we meditate on, step by step, one by one. And I think some of us or some of you may be already practicing this thing. Maybe you're not aware. And when you pointed out that, and if you're already doing it, then rejoice it. That's really important. And if you rejoice, it will encourage you to do, continuously. Right? And then verse number 6, the perfection. Now once you generate the bodhicitta, and then what you have to do, you have to practice the 6th perfection, or 6th perfection. We call it 6th perfection, aprajana paramita. Yeah.
It just sounds interesting.
Oh, it is interesting. That's true. Thank you. You find it very interesting. 6, once you try, you engage, cultivate this good heart, the inspirational. Oh, also, bodhicitta have 2 types. And one is aspirational bodhicitta, and another one is engaging bodhicitta. Aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. Aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. And then the 2 method I was mentioning, sevenfold cause and effect, and like equalizing or exchange yourself with others step. When you do the step, and we are trying to cultivate the engaging bodhicitta. And then once you're generate the engaging bodhicitta, and the job, the task, the work that we have to do is practice a 6th perfection. The 6th perfection, where you have listed like a perfection of ethical discipline, perfection of patience, perfection of joyous effort, perfection of concentration, and perfection of wisdom. Yeah, these are what we are supposed to do. All right. I think we did up to 20, verse number 28, which is the perfection of joyous effort. I think it's a good sign. Joyous effort. Joyous effort. We have to have the joy to do good thing, not really the wrong thing. If you are really enjoying doing wrong thing, that's wrong. What do you think? Right? Scott, what do you think? Yeah, that's quite true, no? If something is really it's not really, this text doesn't really talk anything kind of tell or story. It's something really, really realistic thing that, we can do our own level, right? You can't expect that you are Bodhisattva yet or Buddha yet, but there's a way that I can do too. Why not? And yeah. Okay, I think we have got 15 minutes left. We finish up to verse number 28, supposed, okay? But I didn't do much on the explanation of most of them, just few of them. But we will go over again next time, next session. And if you find time, read the commentary. The commentary have some given examples are given, if you have the commentaries. If not, sometimes you can read online too. I mean, that's helpful. It's really helpful. You have to just find it in ways and means how to learn by yourself, how to grow ourselves. That would be a really good thing. And we haven't got 15 minutes. What to do with the 15 minute? Relax a little bit, because too much talking sometimes get a little. Yes, sure, go. Yeah. Do you need to? Oh, okay. So maybe any question?
Gishma,
Yes.
Gishma, do you have the commentary on the text?
Commentary, there are, I found there are two commentaries on Amazon available. One is the 37 Practice of Bodhisattva commentary, oral teaching by Geshe Sonam Rinchen. Can you see the book here?
Let me see.
You can go to Amazon. There, I saw there were two commentary. One is by the name of Geshe Son. I know him personally. Geshe Sonam Rinchen is one of the main teacher at the Tibetan work and library Tibetan work and archive in Dharamsala for a long time teaching. And he have given the teaching, and then is the commentaries available there online. I'm sorry, in Amazon. And then there's another commentary by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, very, very important teacher from Nyingma tradition. And check on Amazon, and I guess you can buy like a ebook or the hard copy. And maybe there are many, but this two seems really good one, and it has given a lot of simple example to relate. So this is quite good. And the translation, Geshe-la's translation was done by Ruth Sonam. I know her too. She's actually a British, lady, and served for Geshe-la's translation, I don't know, over 30 years in Dharamsala. She's just really, really good translator. Yeah. Any other question? Any question or? Yes.
So say one of your
Where is it?
stand up. What is a good way to practice that? I really want to meditate on this stand breath.
Okay.
What's a good way?
Oh, I see. Because any particular whatever, right? The way. Okay. Practice. I think what you could do is when you read, don't read like da. And read very slowly, and then try to understand the meaning of in the whole contents, and then try to get some commentary, read and listen, and then do some reflection, meaning how can I really engage myself into that kind of practice. For example, with the verse number, I think, wait a minute, I think verse number 19 or 20, which is quite, of course, in a whole. 18, 19 is a good example. I mean, the verse number 18 is actually, it's also another, like a practice of Tonglen too, giving and taking. You could do this Tonglen practice in here. Read, through grips by poverty and always scorn, through states by acute illnesses and possessed by evil spirit, to take upon yourself the negativities and the suffering of every beings, and never to get discouraged is the practice of Bodhisattva. And make sure that you don't get overwhelmed because you have to be really smart. You don't want to get like a stress for yourself. So then when you see people who are really suffering, who are really in need of help, so the courage is initially, you have to be really courageous to do something good for those who are really in need. And you read very slowly and then make some kind of you know, how can you really make that it in your reality in a practical way, in the day to day practice? How can you really make that in very practical? I mean, so the verses, this really helpful to do this. But then, you know, you have to just do slower pace, not really, you know, too much kind of expectation or I really need to do. Yes, it's good to have this determination, but then you have to make sure that, you know, something is realistic or not. You know, because of that, you know, I think I told one story about a Jizumila Repa. Jizumila Repa taught people, you know, be generous, and you know, look, selfish. Don't be like a selfish. You are one single person, and it's all sentient being mean many. Try to generous, and then you should be generous meaning give time, give energy, give, you know, wealth, and give teaching, give, you know, the protection, give life. There are many different types of generosity that, you know, exist there, right? And one person who was not really that you know, like a practical or something, he or she, I don't know, had a lot of wealth, and he thought, oh, you know, I should just give away everything. And he gave everything, he gave everything away, and at the end she or he found when difficult, you know, like no food, not enough food, or no houses, or no. And then he got a little regret. Oh God, what I did wrong. And then he said, oh, he told me to do it. Then just pointing him, he told me to do it. And then you feel, you know, like a kind of angry with toward the good teacher. That's wrong, you know. So because of that, you have to be really practical and very realistic. Yeah.
We also mentioned like learning previously, learning, reflection, and experience.
Yes.
I think that could apply.
Exactly.
Contemplate it during the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, so reading it in the commentary, study,
Mm-hmm. Study
apply to my life. How can I go about my
is a reflection.
mind of this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then what aspect of it might be the meditation?
Meditation, you know, usually what you do is you just try to get the content of the verse, get some kind of image in your mind, read first, read carefully and try to understand the meaning, and then without looking the book or listening, and just think about, okay, I read about how to really, you know, what is that, Tonglen practice, for example, verse number 18, and just bring that meaning of that you are reading and listening earlier very quietly, do them, you know, like try to recall the meaning and within the mind, visual, not really like you're touching or pushing or reading or listening, but do some kind of contemplation within your mind. And then when you see that this is something I can do it, and you feel there's some sort of sense that you feel like rejoicing that you have learned something, and I inspire with that, the word, the meaning. When you feel like it's some inspirations like starting coming, that's where it's really, you know, some sort of experience probably starting. But you know, it could be differ for in person to person, definitely. Sometimes the experience is not easy. That in experience we have to transform, you know, we can really see that attachment, aversion, and jealous are wrong thing. And then the opposite is the right thing to do. And then oh, I don't want to really break my laptop today. Okay, it become a little windy now. I think we have left only 7 minutes, and let's dedicate or wrap up today, and we will do the dedication. And I think we just do the dedication mentally. Yes, I do have some dedication verses if you want to do. I think. Let me see. Okay, just, you know, quietly dedicate what we have done. We have created some merit, I guess. And if some merit means virtues and positive, you know, attitude, mind and body and speech and mind. And then dedicate that to find long-lasting happiness and peace, and not only just for yourself, but all other living beings. That's very important to do. Yeah. So I would like to just read 2 verses to dedicate. I found it here. So, with the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Due to the merits of this virtuous action, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. Chanjo semjo rinpoche, magie banam ki gyuche kyewa nyamba meba yang konyo kondo pewa sho. Kyewa kondo yanda nama dante me chike pe la ngonjo je sadang nam ki yinde la zono doje changi ko pan yor tok sho. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day. And
Thank you, Geshe-ma.
continue to enjoy life and continue to learn and continue to practice joyous effort. Very important. And never don't forget smile. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Many
Thank you.
thanks, Geshe-ma.
Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you. We'll see you again next week. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.